Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Hitting the Turnbuckle channel. We are viewing AEW Rampage. This week's Rampage was headlined by Chris Jericho. We had Jeff Hardy on it against Darby Allin, Matt Sydal, Chris Jericho, Kris Statlander versus Queen Aminata, and Penta Miedo versus Anthony Henry. Really quick hour. It really felt really quick this week from Charleston, South Carolina. Sydal and Jericho kicked off the show. It was actually quite a decent match actually on this. Really good back and forth. Jericho was sort of going back old school, really, which I really liked. It was a really interesting one to see these two in the ring. Obviously, two wily veterans. Sydal wasn't exactly a youngster himself. There was some really good, there was a sunset power bomb by Sydal. Really good opening contest on Rampage. Jericho picks up the win with the Judas effect. As then Takeshita comes out and they have a pull-apart brawl. So that's really leading towards Jericho versus Takeshita later on down the line in AEW. But a really solid opener, really enjoyed it. As I say, wily old veteran match. And you go from that, Matt Menard joins the commentary table at this point. But you go back to that, and then Penta Miedo comes out with a match against Anthony Henry. It was a really, really quick match. It was shortened to the point. Anthony Henry did get a few little spots in it, but ultimately the overhead belly to belly in the corner by Penta, and then the fear factor, and Penta Miedo picks up the victory in this one. Really quick, to the point. Penta wins, and they move on. Out the back, there was a bit of Renee was with Sarai and Ruby Soho. Ruby is really pissed at this point, looking for Anna Jay, because if you remember last week, there was an issue where Ruby saw her boyfriend kissing, I can't remember her name. I want to say Harley Cameron, and she blamed it on Anna Jay. So that's where that one comes from. So I think we're leading towards that. Hopefully, Ruby Soho will eventually see that Sarai has been playing her, and that will lead into them breaking up full time. Statlander, who's actually with Stokely Hathaway, which was interesting. We've said this before, and then this is the good thing about this is that Rampage kind of has its own storylines going on. Sometimes they lead into Dynamite and Collision, but other times they standalone storylines, which I absolutely love, by the way. Nothing wrong with that at all. So it was Statlander, Stokely Hathaway. Willow's flight was cancelled. Don't know by who. That was quite more of that at the end of the show, at the end of this match. Actually, they mentioned that. But listen, this was a really good physical match. Statlander and Queen Aminata was a really physical match. And I mean, it looked really good in this match as well. Ultimately, the Fisherman's Buster into the Michinoku driver from Statlander won it. But Queen Aminata is fastly becoming someone who's going to play a big part in this division. And I don't know whether it was meant to happen this way or whether it's just organically happened. And sometimes when it organically happens, it flows better, it looks better. And she, I don't think, has won a match, but she has gone with the big guns in that women's division. And she hasn't been, she hasn't looked bad at all. She certainly looks about, she's more than capable of challenging. So perhaps there's a storyline later on coming with her where she starts to rise to the top of that division. I want to see that because she can really go in that ring. So more Queen Aminata, please, more wins, and let's see her go on a run. The main event was a rematch from one Dynamite before. I think Jeff Hardy had his last lot of issues. Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin. This one was just, what did you expect? Look, if you wanted a car crash here, you got one. This was like it kind of revisited old spots. There was a sent onto a load of chairs, there was ladders, there was tables. You just picture a Jeff Hardy Darby Allin match that you saw maybe 18 months or so ago. It done exactly the same thing with the same outcome. Darby Allin picked up the victory on this with the jackknife cover. Now, after this match, Darby went for the double fish bump, and Jeff Hardy kind of slaps him around the face. So I don't know if Matt and Jeff Hardy are going to be turning heel at this point. I'm not sure what's going on there. We will see. This Dynamite, this Rampage, what, flew by. It was one of the best Rampage episodes in as long as I can remember. It was consistent. That match between Jeff and Darby absolutely over-delivered. The Aminata and Statlander beating the hell out of each other. Both of them look strong. And you know what? Like Jericho as well with Sydal, it was good. There was no sort of, I had a concern when I first read about it, but it's a really good match. So kudos to AEW. This gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Really enjoyed it. As I say, the better the events are the ones that flow by or fly by because you don't, then it's finished. You start watching, it's done. And you're like, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that 1 hour of television that Rampage puts on. So, guys, have a look at it yourself. Sound off in the comments below. What do you think of it? And come back to our channel. We've got interviews this week. I'm going on another podcast this week as well, but we have got some interviews this week. Jay Joshua comes along ahead of his match with Adonis Payne at Ignite. And I've got him this week. Adonis Payne isn't happy about that. So let's see what happens when I interview Jay Joshua this week. But guys, keep it locked on our socials at HTT Buckle. Search Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast and all other social media outlets. And until next time, everybody, buckle down and stay safe.